I wanted to do a quick video on something that you're seeing a lot probably on various websites where people, they have their personal websites and they show their skills, and they'll show a graph or they'll show something of that nature which will show the various skills that they have in a percentage or something of that nature. And I actually made a little one that I put on my own website, and the only reason I'm even doing the video about it because I know it's got like 60 views very quickly, and it's not like I have a huge following on YouTube, but to have so many people look at it so quickly, again, it was 14 seconds, there was nothing there, it was literally just the animation, and yet people watched it. So I was like, well, maybe people are interested in how to make something like this. So this is kind of like the one I made here. Let me show right quick. And so as you can see, it's what I'm good at. Comes in and shows curriculum and e-learning, video and graphics, and UX facilitation. So what I basically did is I made this in Keynote, converted it into a video, and then I used Photoshop to make it into a GIF, and then I put that GIF on my site. Obviously, if you're using WordPress, there's widgets you can use, but this is more for if you have a different type of website, maybe other than WordPress, and you don't want to program it. And you just want to make something, again, pretty simple like I made, and it's a good way to make something very quick without having to program something. And I just did it in Keynote because, well, I really like Keynote, so that's what I did it. So let me go start with a blank one here. As you can see, we have nothing here, and I'm just going to do a little chart, and let's do a chart like, let's just do a chart like this. So as you can see, we have our little basic chart here, and one thing I love about Keynote is I made a 3D chart, and you could actually turn and position this. You don't have to leave it as the default one. You could change the 3D rotation on this. And I'm going to actually edit my chart because I don't need these things. And I'm going to actually change this to things like, again, in my case, e-learning, graphics. I'll make this one video if I can spell, and of course UX. Alright, so I did that, and what I'm basically going to do instead is, obviously because we're talking about skill sets, we're going to make this percentages. So e-learning I'll put at, say, 95%. I've been doing it for 10 years, so I'm pretty well versed in e-learning and how to do those type of things. Graphics I've been doing it a long time, but I've used Photoshop, all manner of things, but to be honest, there's a lot of people are a lot better at Photoshop than me, so I'll just say, I don't know, I'll be generous, I'll say 80%. Video, I know enough about video as far as all the different types and using Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, After Effects, all those things. And I'm not as great, I shouldn't say I'm not as great, I don't do UX as much as I do online learning or classroom facilitation. That's just a simple fact of my profession. I tend to do less UX work. So that's good enough for now. So I'm going to close that out. And as you can see, I have these here. Actually, let's change it to a little bit and move this way. We scoosh. There you go. I like that. Well, actually, I do want to do some changes, but it's okay. So we have this. I'm going to add some effects. Now, what I probably do is, there's a lot of cool things that you can obviously do with these, and let's just look at one of them. Let's do 3D Grow. Okay, I'll hit the preview button so you can see what it looks like. Okay, that's not bad. But one thing that a lot of people don't realize you can do is, I'm actually going to minimize the amount of time, and instead of delivery all at once, I'm going to change by elements in the series. Okay, first to last, that's fine. I'll hit preview again, and we'll grow each one. That might be a little slow for my liking, but you get the general idea. Alright, so there you go. Now you could just as easily as change this to cascading, which is the same type of deal in all honesty. Preview, except for it's a little faster. So there you go, that's kind of cool. I like that. It's fast, but it comes in. Alright, so we have these. And this is a simple thing. Again, you could change this to different colors. You could change it to one color. It really doesn't matter. This is just a simple example of what to do. Now, the only thing that you're going to want to make sure that you change in build order is take it from on click to right after transition. Because again, we want it to play automatically. All right, so that's pretty simple. So what I'll do now is, and I'll export this out, and I'll export this as a QuickTime movie. Yeah, it doesn't really matter right now. Self-playing, sure, 5 seconds. It really doesn't make that big a difference in all honesty. It's going to be fairly quick. Next, I'll just call it something. Graph 2. Saving my pictures, export. All right, creating that movie, pretty simple. All right, so now we have a movie, clearly. The only thing we're going to do now with that is I'm going to bring it into Photoshop. And this is how you can make a GIF out of a video. So, file new, I'll use a video format. Where's my video formats? There we go. 720 resolutions. That's fine. It doesn't really make that big a difference again because it's going to be a little bit smaller on my website. I don't need a HD resolution. I could, but I'm not going to in this case. Sure. Yeah, I don't care about that. All right, so here is a blank screen, and there's nothing here, but we're going to import those videos as layers. So file, import, video frames as layers. And now I'm going to find, I think I put in my pictures. Here you go. Here's my graph 2. Whoop. Jumped. Graph 2. And again, if you want to preview it, you click your little thing. Here you go. I'll hit open. And it says, you sure you want to do this beginning to end, limit every 2 frames? Yeah, sure, limit every 2 frames is fine. If you want to preview it, what it will look like, there you go. But it's pretty fast. And once it comes in, I might even shorten this up because I don't need that long. Unless you want to get a little pause. I'm leaving some at the end so it doesn't pause, so it doesn't just loop continuously. It's because it's going to loop. I want to give some pause at the end so just sticks in the mind a little bit better. So, okay. And it's going to start rendering. And as you can see, it rendered all the files out, 112 layers. That's fine. So now that we're going to go to File, and we're going to save for web. It's going to be thinking, as you can see. Wow, it's really thinking. This might take a few minutes. All right, so here is our, and here again, if you want to preview it, you can see what your thing will look like. You might want to zoom it out so that you can see it better. There you go. And here's basically what's going to look like. You can make your proper adjustments as you need for your GIF. I tend to just leave it as adaptive, the default to it. I like the high color scheme. A lot of people bring it down, but because we're not dealing with flesh, we're dealing with just objects. You can do high images, high amount of colors, and it'll be fine. Now, of course, you could do low for the same regards if you wanted to bring that down some. Say, preview it as it's gonna just 158. Again, higher colors for flesh because there's a lot of variation in skin tone and such. That's pretty cool. And I drop the colors. That will, of course, obviously drop the size too. And see it rendering. There you go, done. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it. Done. And now I have my little GIF. Oh, did I save it out? Okay, yeah, I hit done. One hit save. Save. Ask where you want it. Graph. To GIF, that's fine. Save. And it'll spin and think. Start saving it out because again, it's saving 122 layers. Excuse me, 112 layers. Okay, now that's done. Now here's my GIF. Let me open this up with let's do Google Chrome. And here's my little GIF. See, and there's your little GIF, and of course it will loop. There you go. And so now if I'm at my website or your website, whatever it is, I use Squarespace for my site, and as you can see, I just input it there. And again, because it's an image, it's going to be extremely light compared to a video, and it will just loop, and you don't have to worry about, I know for myself, I have a YouTube thing obviously, and when I put it in there, a lot of times it's hard to get the commercials out, even if you deselect the show suggestions at the end. You got the video controllers, you get all the other stuff in there. And a lot of times the GIF is just simply easier, faster to get it outputted in. So you can just easily insert it into your whatever your HTML page is, and you have a nice little GIF of the skills that you use for what you do. And again, I could just as easily switch this out with the one that we just made. And again, pretty simple GIF, good way to do something. You could do that in 5 minutes and you have a nice little catchy visual thing for your website. Alright, I hope that helped you, and if you have any questions, drop it below and I'll be more than happy to help. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.